is called The Kids Are All Right. Lisa, Steve Jameson here. Good morning. Excuse me, Steve, hang on a second. I cradled the phone while covering the mouthpiece. Can you guys settle for a minute? I can't hear. The clamor in Gamma at the block change was reaching my tolerance threshold before the phone call. Why is he calling me at 9 a.m.? Hi, Steve. Sorry, what's up? I have Stella in my office. She left a bomb threat and suicide note in her guidance counselor's mailbox. What? If you could come in, Lisa, that would be good. You think? I hang up and give my teaching partner and mentor in Gamma a look of complete disbelief, followed by a whispered summation of this phone call. Go, we'll be fine, just go. Having your kids go through the same school system you teach at has its advantages and plenty of disadvantages. With a teen wild child, the disadvantages might be piling up. I cannot digest what I just heard. When I screech into the parking lot at Anytown Middle School and stride wild-eyed into the principal's office, I see Stella. Her petite, batik-clad self is hunched into a conference chair, knees drawn up and encircled by her thin arms, tears streaming down her face. When she sees me, she glowers. Stella, what the fuck? Probably not my best opener, but my amygdala has been in the red zone since I picked up the phone at the high school. Why? Are you suicidal? How could you leave a bomb threat? I work for the school district. Were you serious? Did you want to die? Are you not well? But what friend did this with you? How can this possibly be happening? Thankfully and kindly, Steve steps in. You say it was a prank, right, Stella? Is that what you told me? Stella nods. A prank? Are you insane and completely unaware of the time in which we are living, the age of gun violence in school being as American as apple pie? Again, I'm not doing well here. I would not be taking such a tack with someone else's kid. With my own, professionalism has gone out the window. And contrary to how it may sound, my deepest concern is not the bomb threat, but the suicide threat, claiming the desire to die. As I've stated, I take no suicidal ideation lightly, certainly not my own child's. She'll need to be out for 10 days, Lisa, and an independent psychological evaluation will be necessary for her return. This is not a surprise. I'm well aware of the school's policies. I'm the one typically requesting psych evals for kids on my caseload. Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I going to tell my parents? Hey, hi, Mom and Dad. Yeah, turns out that rebellious teen you raised, you know me, yeah, well, she can't hold a candle to your possibly deeply disturbed granddaughter. How about no? Not going to happen. I need to shield them from a lot. Actually, we never tell them. This becomes our family's little secret. Jack, Eli, Stella, and I secret Stella out of school and make the necessary calls to the psychiatrist's offices accepted by our district. We get an appointment in New Hampshire. Stella convinces us that she and her friend, let's call her Alexa, just did it on a lark. They didn't mean any of it. Prefrontal cortexes can't be overly prized. Many's the time I've avoided a tri-stater with the help of my fully formed adult one. It's tricky to keep Stella's suspension secret. I mean, my parents are deeply involved with my kids and live just 6 miles away. Stella not being at school for 10 days when she is not ill would be hard to explain indeed. So we all hide. Eli must be sworn to secrecy too. Sometimes he has a tendency to blurt things out, so I live on the edge of my seat whenever we're around my parents for the next couple of weeks. It becomes a family affair that we snicker about while we consider composing our very first Christmas letter to friends and to my very exceedingly high-achieving extended family. Dear loved ones, well, we've had quite a year, chock full of truly memorable milestones. Where to begin? Stella passes her psych eval with flying colors and returns to school post her 10-day vacation. I know she felt enough shame about this whole incident, so after my initial outburst, I tempered my response. I only wanted her to be safe. Everything went fairly well at school for the years following, even when she came on up to my school, the high school. Oh, I knew she and her cohorts were getting up to all manner of mischief whenever they could, but mischief of the typical teenage kind. I could relax about her school life. Well, until the incident with the pig. Midday in Gamma, and I've got one student in a full-blown anxiety-fueled meltdown, 4 others who are in their small group English class, waiting for me to get back to reading crack hours into thin air, and one angry young man cooling off after an outburst in Mr. T's room. There's a small knock on my closed door. Katie, you okay for a minute? Okay, deep breaths, honey. Okay, I'll be right with you. Hey, Cal, pick up where I left off, will you? At least Cal can get through a paragraph without the common monotone inflection my other guys have absolutely nailed that would reliably and instantly put everyone to sleep. Katie's shaking has calmed a bit, and the tears that streak her face are starting to dry. I open the door. Standing outside, I see a clearly outraged administrator, Mrs. Chase, and my daughter's beloved art teacher, Mrs. Cafferty. Mrs. Cafferty has a look of abject chagrin and is holding what appears to be some kind of ceramic creature covered in intricate designs. Mrs. Chase, not my daughter's forever favorite, glares at me with red lasers for eyes and thrusts her bony thumb towards what turns out to be a very pretty glazed clay pig. This is what Stella made in art class. It is a bong. She needs to be reprimanded, possibly suspended, and this pig needs to be destroyed immediately. Jesus. Who knew the school day could revolve so suddenly and poignantly around such an unpredictable porcine predicament? It was a lot to take in. Timing is everything. This couldn't wait till the 2:30 bell. You are aware that I, too, teach in the building? I wish she could read my face. Mrs. Cafferty, on the other hand, Mary to me, is a picture of the meaning of wringing your hands. It's such a beautiful piece of art, Lisa. I can't destroy it. She worked so hard. Mary is clearly distraught. The pig is stunning. Besides its incredibly lifelike shape, its cornucopia of glazes include rose pinks, rusts, cerulean blues, and purples that offset and complement each other gorgeously. But it's the Seurat-like pointillism that covers the little sow in geometric and concentric circles with complex weavings that converge in ways reminiscent of an Escher lithograph that really make it a work of art. Must have taken her a million years to complete. She outdid herself, though, with the spiked necklace. Pristine white horns encircle Pig's neck, accenting her stout and glittering cobalt blue collar. Her mouth is open ever so slightly in either surprise or song, whichever best facilitates taking a nice fat toke. I need to take it from her and smash it. We cannot condone making drug paraphernalia in school. Mrs. Chase's long face is a hard frown. I suddenly flash on Margaret Hamilton as Miss Gulch, aka the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. That pig is a menace to the community. I beg him to the sheriff to make sure he's destroyed. Don't you have other more pressing concerns, SAT scores and their profound meaning for the entirety of every student's life, or getting the elite 10% of the class of 2008 accepted into at least 5 more of their top-tier colleges? I think I hear Rutgers calling. There are about 1,000 things I restrain myself from saying on any given day. It gets tiring. It occurs to me to suggest she test the pig out. She could stand to bring everything down a notch and chill a bit. One took over the line, sweet Jesus, one. This particular administrator has a soft spot for the AP students, the athletes and musical whizzes. But these artsy-fartsy kids, they are nothing but trouble. The jocks and their cocaine deals going down in plain sight outside the cafeteria, obvious to anyone who's ever watched an episode of Dragnet, never mind Miami Vice, apparently are small change. Bongs decorated like Tiffany quality swine will not be tolerated. I know this administrator means well, but, well, don't be so mean. I gaze from one upset face to the other. It's actually not obvious that the pig is a pipe. It isn't a bong. Although for the rest of my life, when I tell the story, I'll refer to it as a bong only because of Gail's initial words to me. There's just the tiniest hole for oxygenation cleverly disguised by the dizzying pointillism. Mary's hand-wringing continues, and she pleads again. Please don't do that, Gail. Couldn't you just keep it until the end of the year? It's so exquisite, and she was so diligent in her work. This is getting a bit surreal. And then there's the pig. Oh my God, don't we have some freaking clay at home? Pork pottery can't be that hard. I struggle to quiet my mind. Okay, look, Gail, do what you have to do. I don't care. I need to get back to my class. If you have to destroy it, do it. Mary sighs. I think she's going to cry. All right. I'll keep the pig in my drawer. At the end of the year, you can collect it. As long as you don't send out your flying monkeys. I picture her whipping a giant hourglass upside down. Mary's relief is palpable, and she shoots me a meaningful look. Gail almost stomps off, the prohibited pig slung carelessly under her arm. She better not break it. I've grown quite attached to this pig in the past 15 minutes. It's my pig now. At the end of the school year, Stella either forgot about it or acquiesced that I deserved to store it for safekeeping. Anyway, she was off to something bigger than barnyard bongs, an elite art college. The shameful hog has been safely stowed for many, many years. She smiles and sings out to us from her glass china case every day. One of these days, I'll give her back to Stella. We call her the pig who lived, saved by the beloved art teacher who cared. Thank you.